Hey, welcome to Canva in a Minute. In this video, I will be showing you how to utilize the Canva platform to create the perfect graphic. If you've never used Canva before or you have no idea of what Canva is, well, Canva is pretty much a design tool a lot of designers are using to create some really cool graphics. And I'm going to show you how to do it. First, you want to log on to canva.com. It's going to take you to their landing page. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight down to the packages. Now, let me explain the package for you. There's a free package, and a lot of people do use it, but I will always suggest going with the Canva Pro. There's also Canva Enterprise. If you have a large team, this would make more sense for you to use. But for the most part, I would suggest using the Canva Pro because there's so much more features that you'll be able to access versus Canva Free. And you can always start with a free trial to test it out and see. Now, you can actually get Canva Free, but with Canva Free, there's just a limited amount of access you're going to have to many of the tools that you're going to actually need when designing certain images. But like I said, with Canva Pro, the access is endless. So it only makes sense when you sign up, go ahead and log in. I'm going to log into my Canva Pro. Now, after you log in, it's going to take you to the home page. Now, it may look a little bit intimidating if you're not used to graphic designs, but let me tell you, it's pretty simple to use, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this platform. Let me explain a few of these areas that you may want to get familiar with. Now, like I said, we're on the home page. Now, here in templates, you're going to have graphics for social media, which is Instagram stories, Instagram posts, Facebook covers, YouTube channel art, and LinkedIn banners. In personal, there's invitations, cards, resumes, postcards, weekly schedule planner, t-shirts. In business, presentations, website logos, business cards, invoices, in business letterheads. In marketing, posters, flyers, infographics, brochures, newsletters, proposals. In education, we have classroom decor kits, lesson plans, worksheets, certificates, bookmarks, class schedules. In trending, we got Canva prints, videos, YouTube intros, photo books, menus, itinerary. And that's what's there. On the left side of the screen, of course, we got all your designs. So whenever you design, you're going to see your designs in here. These are the designs. These are your designs. You can click see all and you could see all of them, or you could just click all your designs and it will take you to that area where you can view all of your designs. You can share and also all your folders. You can look up all your folders in here. You're able to create different folders in here. Down here in teams, you can create a team, but you will have to get the Canva Pro or Enterprise to be able to access the teams. Now here in tools, you got brand kit. This is where you can, pretty much customize your colors that you're going to be using often for your graphics and also your fonts. All right. So in content planner, you can pretty much view where your scheduled posts are and so forth. Yes, you can schedule posts using Canva. And once again, you will need Canva Pro to be able to schedule those posts. So let's go back to the home page. And over here, we're going to go on the right section of the screen. You could create a video, Instagram story, Instagram post, your story, mobile video, logo, Facebook post, Facebook cover, YouTube thumbnail, and the list goes on. And down here, you can customize the size of your design. So if you want to create a custom size, you could just add it in here, click save, and you could start creating. Now in here, you could search anything that you want to search. Now this little camera icon, you could actually edit a photo from your desktop. So if you have a photo of you want to edit the photo, you can pretty much click this icon and you can edit that photo. Now in uploads, you can actually upload a file into the software and pretty much edit it. Now down here, this is for you. This is this section right here. There's presentations, there's social media. Let me click on presentation so you could see what presentations look like. You got the presentation, a talking presentation, mobile first presentation, and there's just so much that you can do with Canva concerning presentations. In social media, you can create in an Instagram story, your story, WhatsApp status, Facebook cover, TikTok video, Instagram story ad, animated Instagram post. And of course, it's going to be on a blank canvas. Each of these are going to be blank canvases if you want to start from scratch. But I'm going to actually show you how you can edit a template. Now in video, we have Facebook video, video message, mobile videos, YouTube video, video collage, YouTube video ad, feed ad, video in portrait mode. In gifts and prints, there's poster, banners, business cards, invitations, postcards, t-shirt, circular sticker, wall calendar, and the list goes on. You could easily browse down and look at some of the other features in here. And in marketing, there's so much to choose from in marketing. And in Office, there's a resume, A4 document, report, planner, letterhead, proposal, and graphic designer if you just want to create. And there's more that you can choose from. There's the infographic, photo collage, desktop wallpaper, graph, book cover, mind map, magazine cover, Zoom, virtual background. There's so much more. You could click this arrow and get a whole lot more to use. Like I said, I'm going to always recommend Canva Pro over Canva Free. Let's get back to our homepage. Now, here we are on the homepage. Now, you can click on this little circle right here, and you'll see the account settings, get help, refer a friend, create a team, privacy policy, and of course, you could sign out. Now, as you can see down here, I have a few designs that I've worked on. Now, if you click on any one of these to, pretty much start creating, if you're a newbie, you don't want to click on one of these. I think the best thing to do is start with a template. All right, so what you want to do is go in here and click on this icon. And let's just say you're going to create an Instagram post. You want to click on Instagram post. And here we are in the templates. And let me tell you, there's so much that you can choose from. There's so many different ideas for your templates. And we're going to scroll back up. And over here, there are a few links that you could click on just to simplify the process. So also over here, there are some filters. You could click anything you want. You want modern, you could click on modern. And that's the style, the theme. You could click post and, color if you want to add the color in there. And it will pretty much bring up, if you need, like a blue color or a purple, it will pretty much populate most of the blues and purples. And you could choose from one of those. Now let's create a graphic so you could see exactly how the editor works. All right, so let's begin with this Bally ad right here. Now, when you click on a template, it's going to show you whether it's free or it's a pro version. If you're using the free version and you're seeing pro right here, you're going to have to pay for using a pro template. And that's the downside to using the free version of Canva, because the pro graphics are so much better. Now, let me just emphasize for a moment, with the pro package, you're going to get way more templates, designs, fonts, stock photos, videos, audio, graphics, and a whole lot more fancy features and customization. And the Canva team is always adding more features. All right, once you click on the template, it's going to show you more template, that has similarities to it. And you could, you still scroll down and see if there's something that probably catches your attention, and you could, use it if needed to. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go with this simple template right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click customize this template, and it's going to take us to the editor. This area is where you're going to be working most of the time. You're going to be editing those templates or just designing your graphics from scratch. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to explain the top bar section, and then I'm going to explain the left bar area and the templates area, and also the search. So let's get started with, of course, this top left section of the bar. Now, of course, the home takes you back to the home screen. Now, if you click on file, it's going to show you the colors in the graphic. And here in the pencil icon, you could pretty much edit it. And right here, we see the 1080 by 1080 pixel. It's the dimension of the graphic, which is pretty much Instagram standard. And in here, you could create a new design if needed. You could show rulers, show guides, show margins, show print bleeds, switch brand kit, save. You could save this, always save your graphics. And in here, you could save to any folder you choose to. So you could, click here and choose your folder you want to save it in, and resolve comments, version history, make a copy, download, opening desktop app, and help. And here in Resize, these are all the dimensions of the graphics. Of course, this is already 1080 by 1080 pixels, showing you the width and height of this graphic. Of course, you could, resize it to a 1080 by 1920, or, any of these, other, dimensions that you like to use. It could be a Facebook cover. It's going to show you the dimensions here of standard video, which is 1920 by 1080, Facebook post. And you could click show more, and it will give you additional choices, YouTube thumbnail, and additional, dimensions. Down here, you can just click on video, presentation, Facebook post, poster, Facebook cover, and the list goes on and on and on. And like I said, this area is pretty much the dimensions area, which is, the width and the height of your graphic. Now, this little icon is the undo icon. And let's go over here. Now, this area is pretty much the title of the graphic. It usually gives you a title, but you can change it. You could just, erase. And if you just want to do, let's just say you want to change the title, create a standard. And there you have it. The title of the graphic is changed. Now here in share, you could pretty much type a few names in. If you have a team, and you could share it to your team. You could add emails in here and send it to those emails. You could copy the link and pretty much, share it with somebody that you like to share this graphic with. Now, let me add, whenever you share a link with anybody, they won't be able to view the whole entire editor. The only thing they're going to be able to see is the graphic design. They won't be able, to view the top bar nor the left section. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go over to our downloads. We're going to click here. And the file type, as you can see, the default is PNG. If you click on PNG, you're going to have some, different formats that you could choose from. Here we have JPEG, PDF standard, PDF print, SVG, MP4 video, and GIF. Now, if you're using the free version and you're downloading, your graphic or, video, you're probably going to incur some fees. So be aware of that. And it's going to be the same thing with PDF if you're going to use the PDF format. All right, so let's go here in transparent background. If you want a transparent background, you could download it. Now that's only for pro users also. And compress file, low quality, save, download settings. So you could simply, just download this graphic. Like I said, you could choose any file type that you wish to use. Also in schedule now, you can schedule this post as is to your social media platforms. So you could click on schedule and it will give you the option to schedule it to your social platforms. Now let's go over to the three dots. If we click on the three dots, it's going to bring up the section. We got the download here also, the download icon, and Instagram personal, Instagram business for you to schedule your post. And like I said, you could also schedule to Facebook, Twitter, you could send an email. Now in schedule, this is where the calendar is. So if you want to set up your calendar, the date and time that you want, you want to schedule this post, you could do that. And I love this about Canva. And down here, you could pretty much create a link, share the link. You can also use this as a presentation. It will be better for you to have to be in presentation mode in this area. So you would want to choose one of the presentation template, which is landscape mode. You can also record your presentation, copy the clipboard. And like I mentioned earlier, you could post to our Facebook page and Twitter, send an email, and you could see more options that you have here, which is Facebook groups, Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive. The options are endless. MailChimp, Pinterest, LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn page, Slack, Tumblr, and the list goes on. Now let's head over to the left tab area. So here we have the templates, which are these templates here. We have elements. If you click on elements, you see a lot of different elements that you could add to your graphic. Now, this is an element, this round circle right here. The square, it's also an element. This little white, thing behind the photo, the picture, it's also an element. So you have the elements section. We're going to come back to the elements section in just a minute. You can also click the upload link to upload a file from any device. All right, photos is where all your photos are, and Canva does provide an unlimited amount of photos you can use. There are free photos, and there are also pro versions in here, and just so many different choices with the photo options. All right, so with text, this is a text area. So if you want to add a text in your graphic, of course, you could choose a text. They also have, font combinations, just like, the Dazzle. There's a combination of fonts that you can use. There are those presets in there available for you to use. and just different font types. And we're going to touch on that in just a bit. Now in styles, these are pretty much brand colors. If you want to choose some brand colors, you could use some of these colors and just get some ideas. And they also have fonts that you could choose from to use with some of these colors. Now let's go in audio. Now in audio, there's a huge selection of audio to choose from. You'll be able to view if it's a pro or a free version. And there's so much to choose from in audio. And you could choose an audio and add it to your ad. So you can also look up, let's just say you're going for hip hop. You could click it. And of course, there's going to be some hip hop that will show up. If you're going for classical, let's just say classical. You'll have a few classical, well, not a few, but a whole lot of classical that will populate in the audio area. And all you got to do is just click on the audio, and it's going to be over here. You can also pause it, and this is the name of the song. And there's the full length of the audio you can use. And over here, you could press play. In volume, you can decrease or increase the volume. You can also delete this audio if you do not wish to use it. Now in background, if I want to add a different background to my graphic, I could just simply click on any background and it will add a different background to the graphic. Now I could simply click Control Z, or if you're using a Mac, you could click Command Z and you could bring it back to the original background, or you could simply click undo. So that's backgrounds. Like I said, there's so much different graphics to choose from. If you want to switch your background up, you could also drag and drop it right in there. And just like that, you have a different background. Now, if you browse down a little bit more, you'll be able to view your folders. These are where you're going to have your folders. You could see your folders here, and you could pretty much, click any folder if you want to grab a file out of any folder to use in your graphic. Now, let's go back to our templates. I'm going to show you a little bit more in templates. Now, with templates, it's going to show you your recently used templates. You could see all. Of course, you could, see more of, what's recommended for you. If you want to view a little bit more similar templates, you could click see all, and it will show you a little bit more templates. And you could just choose from whatever fits the design that you're going for. Now, you could click on one of these templates and it will show you in the designer. Of course, look at this little, bike, it's moving, which means it's going to be a video. Once the graphic or element is moving in your design, it's going to automatically be an MP4 video or a GIF. All right, so let's go back and we're going to undo, go back to our original graphic. Now let's go over to our elements. And in elements, there's the, of course, recently used. Any element that we recently used, you could see all in here. You could also close it out with this X and go back to the original element section. And you have lines and shapes. You could click on lines and shapes, and all the lines and shapes will, pretty much populate in this area. You could use any one of these lines and shapes. Like I said, here's a circle. This is an element. This is where they pretty much dragged it in. And you're able to pretty much increase and decrease the size of the circle. So you could drag it in there, and there you have it. You have a circle. You can also change the color of this element. So you could just click on any color in here, and whatever color you choose to your liking. You can choose different colors to make your graphic stand out. And like I said, you could always click the undo and redo and button here and get it back to where you want it. Like I said, I'm going to click undo and undo it all the way. And down here, of course, the line, if you want to use a line, you could use a line in your element. You could just drag and drop it in there. And you have the option with the line to pretty much decrease the line weight. So there it is. I'm increasing and decreasing the line weight. So let's go back to undo. And let's just say you want to add a square. You could drop a square. You're able to pretty much change the dimensions of the square. Just like down here, you could just change the dimension of the square and drop it right there. So there's so much that you can do with Canva. And let's just say you want something circular around a specific, element, and you want to highlight it, so people can, pay attention to it more. You could drop one of those circular in there. You have, the lightning bolt, and you could drag it all over the place and add it wherever you choose to add it. There are stars, and there's so much more elements that you could use in the elements section. Now let's get out of lines and shapes. Now let's go in our graphics. Now here in graphics, there's a ton load of clip arts that you can drop in your designs. Just to, pretty up your designs. You could see more in features. If you like, flowery graphics, you could, just click on see all, and you'll get more recommendations. And you could just close it out and come down here. You could see some photos. If you want some photos, you want to see more photos, you'll be able to see more photos. And we're going to go back in all. And there's some videos there, audio, of course. If you want to add audios, there's charts. If you want to add a chart, let's just say you're doing a presentation and you want to add a chart to your graphic, then you could just drop it in there and Control Z. And there's endless possibilities when it comes to Canva. So let's get out of charts. Another thing that I'm excited to show you is the frames section. Now in frames, let's just say you want to add a screen to your graphic. Let's just say a phone. You could add a phone anywhere on your graphic, right? And you could go to photos, and you could upload an image. You could upload your own, your personal image, and just drag it and drop it right in the phone. And just like that, your image or photo will be in the frame of the phone. You could double click on it, and you could, just drag it over. If you just want to show the horse, in this case, I could just click on the outside, and there's a horse, and there it is. Now, if you want to delete the element inside, or let's just say the photo, you could click on the phone, go over to the trash icon, click on that, and you could delete the element, and you could add a separate element in there or photo if needed. And also you could delete everything in totality. Let's just say you click on the phone, you have the choice of deleting the frame and everything inside the frame. So that's frames for you. Now let's go back in elements, and there we have some more frames. There are also grid frames that you can use. So if you want to use these 3 frames to set up a grid for, let's just say your Instagram, you could go back in photos or uploads, wherever you have your photos, and you could add separate, photos to that grid. Let's get this out of here for a second. And I'm going to increase the size of the grid, right? And you could add, let's go for a different photo. Add this one in here, and you can add a third. So there you have it. You have a grid frame that you can use for an Instagram post and so on. Now let's get our original text back. Okay, now in text, you're going to have some options that you can use for your graphic. Let's click on add a heading, and there's our heading. We're going to get rid of this heading right here, and we're going to recreate the Bali heading. Now, if you click on the text, you're going to see this area highlight with different options or whatever you want to do with the text. So you could change the text font by clicking this drop down arrow, and you'll have an array of different font types that you could use or just change this text to, let's just say Code Pro. You could change it to Code Pro. As you could see, it changed there. Let's go over to the color picker, and I'm going to change it to white. So there we have it. We have a white text. We're going to move it right there. We're going to, pretty much rename it to Bali. And of course, you can choose different colors if needed for your text. You could just go ahead and choose whatever fits your graphic best. So I'm just going to go with white. And so I'm going to change the font. I'm going to go with Batanga, right? So remember, the text was Bali. Gonna change that. We're gonna add Bally in there, and we're gonna bring up the open trip. Now that we have the Bally in there, I'm gonna show you, here's where you can decrease the font size. So if you wanna make it smaller, you could decrease it, or you could just, add your font size. You could go with 90%. And it will pretty much decrease. You could go back to 100 and let's just say 25, increase it. And this is where, like I said, the color picker is. You can also choose whatever you want to choose in here, whatever color type. You could change it. You could use this little round circular thingy and pretty much change the color if needed. You want a green font, boom, there it is. You could also use this color picker right here and click on it. And if there's a color on your graphic that you would like to use, you could just click on it and it will change the color of your header. All right, so that's pretty much it for the colors right there. So I'm gonna go back to the alert. I think I like the green a lot more. Now, of course, I wouldn't do green with this graphic, but just for this tutorial, I'm gonna have the green there so you could see it more clearer. Now you can also underline your text. You could choose your alignment, list, and spacing for your font, and effects. If you want to drop some effects in there, you could drop some effects. You can also animate your text. Now with animation, here are all the animation, and as you can see, I hovered over a few animation and the text started moving. Now you can either animate the whole page, or you can just animate the text. All right, so you can choose which text you want to animate, and you could hover over eyes. It will show you what it will look like. Pan, fade, typewriter, ascend, shift, bounce, burst, block, breathe, pop up, which is pretty popular, stomp, and the list goes on. Now, if you want to animate the page, you could click page animation, and all the text and elements on the page will be animated. There you have it. And just hover over any one of these animation, and it will give you a preview of what the page animation would look like. And this is so cool about Canva. I love this about Canva. I mean, Canva is giving you unlimited access. Once you get the Pro, you'll have unlimited access to so much more that you could do with your graphic. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go to effects. So with effects, let's just say I'm gonna change this background to white. So I'm gonna click on that, and I'm gonna show you something with effects. Now with the effects, you could get a shadow in the background with the effects. And of course, you could get that type of shadow. You could offset the shadow in your text. You can also change the shadow. So let's just say we're gonna go with a purple background or purple shadow. We could offset the shadow. We can also change the direction of that shadow. All right, we could also blur it. There's the option to blur it and increase the transparency, or just decrease the transparency if needed. Like I said, to our graphic liking, that's what you'll do. You can also add a neon around the text. Now let's get that out of here. We're gonna, undo, and let's just say you change your mind. You don't want to add any shadow to it. You could just click none, and you could go back to your original text. Now over here, you can, add a curve to the text. You can also decrease or increase the amount of curve that you would want in the text. All right, so we're gonna click none and get rid of that curve and get it back to its original format. So we're gonna get our background back. So let me go to background, and I'm gonna go with this blue. There we have it, that's our background. Now in elements, you can search for any type of element that you'd like to add to your graphic. Let's just say you want to add an arrow in there. So you can just type in arrow, click enter, and you'll have an array of different arrows that would pop up. It's going to drop over here, and you could change the color of the arrow if needed. So if you want to, just drag a little arrow in there, you could, change the size and the rotation of the arrow. Let's just say we want to add a gradient in our graphic. Click gradient, and you could add a gradient color. If you want this color to be a little bit different, just a bit of a mixture of different colors, you could add that to your graphic. You could also drag and drop different types of images in this graphic just to make it pop and stand out some more. So you could delete it just by clicking on the element and just click the delete key on your keypad, or you could go over here and just click delete and you'll be good. Now let's just say you want to add a gradient color to this background. You could just drag it and drop it here and just increase the square, and pretty much you could move it backwards until it becomes your background. And there it is. As you can see, I can't click background anymore because it's now the background. I'm going to click it forward and show you what you can also do, and it's a most simpler method. When you drag it over here, you could right click and click replace background, and just like that, it's your background. All right, so we're going to work with this gradient background. So we're going to add, let's just add a different style image in our graphic. So if you want to add a different image, you can add something just to bring out a little bit of texture and creativity to your image. You could just add an extra element. Now if you want to create a copy of any element, word, or just a extra element that you're using in your design, hold down the Alt key and just pretty much and use your mouse and drag the element, and there's a copy. Or you can click on the element and go over here where it says duplicate, click on this duplicate link, and there you have it. You have a duplicate. So if you want to add a different color to this image, you could click any different color that's needed just to change it up, and you can have a different style of element to your whole graphic. So look at the colors, and I'm just bringing this down a little bit, and just like that, we have a nice array of color on this element. Now let's just say we want to grab both elements and pretty much group them together. We could just left click on our mouse and grab both of them, and we could group them together, and now we have both elements together just like that. It's that simple. Let's just say you want to flip your element. We're going to get rid of this back element. Let's just say you want to flip the element. You could go over here and into flip, and flip vertically or horizontal. All right, so there's definitely the option to flip. Now, if you need some information on whatever element you're using, you could just click on the element and click this little info key right here, and it will bring up some information about the element. You can also head down here to increase or decrease the file size. All right, so I like to keep it around 75. So you could click on, right here, and you could click 75%. And if you want to copy this whole image, you could click duplicate page, and you'll have a whole different page. Now, just to see if you want to, test and see, a different photo image. Let's just say you want to go in photo. You want to see what it looks like in the photo image. Let's grab this plane window, this airplane window. You can see what it looks like. You could click delete, and you could get rid of it. You could also drop a different image in there. Let's just drop this bed in there. So you could click on the image and you could drag it to the side. Unfortunately, you won't be able to move it up and down, just to the sides there. So you could click out of the image, and I'm going to bring it over a little bit more. And there we have the image. Now, if you want to detach any image, you could right click and come down to detach image, and there's the image. Now let's go with a different template. So we're going to go over in templates, and we're going to add travel, and let's just go with this template right here with this young lady. This is such a dope design. Now these are all elements that they have in there. This orange shape right here, this background gradient shape, And of course the phone, remember we had added the photo in the phone. And of course, these little icons, they added these little icons, and it's a pretty dope design. So let's just try to recreate this image. So we're gonna, delete the young lady out of the image, and we're gonna go in photos. We're gonna add travel, and we're gonna add this image. So we're gonna click on this image. Now, what you want to do here is, now we're gonna bring it forward over the words. All right, so now that we have her here, the next thing you want to do is you want to click edit image, and you want to go in background remover. You want to click that, and there she is. So what we can do here is we can maximize it or minimize it. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna minimize it just a tad down here. Then we're gonna add her in this section, right? So you could pretty much add anything. So we're gonna get rid of the shadow from, where the girl was standing with, her travel case. We're gonna minimize this a little bit more. And there we have it. We have replaced the person that was there. And just like that, you could pretty much recreate your images as you see fit. You can also add a different, I would add something different in this phone. Double click. You could drag it to the right and bring out a little bit more, just creativity in the graphic. Now there's so much more I'm going to be showing you with Canva in a minute. Now feel free to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be showing you all the tips and tricks to make your world much better with Canva. We've come to the end of this tutorial, and thank you for watching Canva in a minute. See you in the next video.